can't just leave without saying something to somebody. That's just, and for me, it shows me what you're going to do or what the possibility will be if we decide to take the relationship further. That when stuff is going wrong or you don't feel good, you know, you got too much on your plate, you just gonna leave. I don't have time for that.
But if they ghost you, you don't have to deal with that because now they're gone anyways, right? So.
Oh my God. You know what? Hold your thoughts. We're going to take a timely break and we're going to be back. You're listening to the Drip Podcast. Keep it locked.
Create eye-catching designs that will make your apparel top of the line. The possibilities are endless with ski tees and apparel. No order too large or small. One item or hundreds. No problem. With quick turnarounds. No setup charges or hidden fees. And rush services to fit your needs. Customize your look today by calling 440-462-9401. That's 440-462-9401. And also follow us on the web at skiteesapparel.com.
Yo, what's up? Baby, let's go.
Yo, what's up? You're listening to the Drip Podcast with Nick, Mar, Free, and O. Keep it locked every Saturday at 10 a.m. Let's go.
Hey guys, we're back with the Drip Podcast. Okay, guys. Free.
I did. It's the truth.
So
already.
I got an example.
Yeah.
So in a situation where, first of all, let me say, I think maybe our definitions of the relationship are still kind of going back and forth. We're teeter-tottering on how long this has to be before you give an explanation or when it's, appropriate, I guess, to ghost. My situation, this young lady and I was only talking for maybe a couple weeks, and it was all through social media. It never was anything face-to-face. When we did decide to meet, that's when the ghosting occurred. So that right there is not the same as you've been dating this person, going to the movies, going to dinner, going to events, whether it's church or not. You guys have been seen together and all that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden they disappeared. I think you're right. They do owe you an explanation instead of just ghosting. However, if it's a situation where, say, for example, a brother has a business. Like I got a friend that's got a business, and it can be seasonal, which means that some parts of the year they cannot do as much as they normally do because they do a lot of their work outdoors. So that gives them a little extra time to make those sweet phone calls and come by and see you on your lunch break and come over and, hang out with you to the wee hours of the morning. But when the work season comes back in and it kicks in, now what attracted her to him in the first place was that he was ambitious, had his own business, had his own house, nice ride, had all these things going on. But what it took to get there, she didn't really know how much time it took for him to make that happen. But when his busy season kicks in, she met him during the slow season. But his busy season kicks in, and now he's out there making that money, doing what he normally does. He's got his stuff working out there. He's at this festival. He's at this event. He's at this place. And on top of it, he's looking to expand. And what better time to do so than when you're busy? So he now no longer is stopping by for lunch.
Does he have a phone? Does he have a phone? Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a cell phone. And it goes back to, and I'm going to still take it back to the conversation. It still goes back to the conversation. Hey, this is a busy season for me. Last season I had a lot of time on my hands. Work season is kicking in. Work season is kicking in, and you may not see or hear from me as much, but we can work around that or not. It's just a conversation. Why are people afraid to have conversations? And that's another topic of the show. Hard conversations that people don't like to have in relationships and marriages. Nobody likes to talk.
Can we just talk?
No, because it's easier to just leave.
But that's not the mature way to handle anything in life.
I didn't say it was. I never said it was, but it's the truth. Can
people handle the truth?
No. which is why it's never told. Well, in most cases, it's never told.
Well, if you don't tell it, you don't know who's going to be able to handle it.
That is true. I agree with you on that. And I have found that being honest and truthful with people has worked in my favor more now than ever.
Yeah, it has worked in my favor too.
Up front, out, say it. Yeah. Get it out there. It has been received in ways where I almost was like, for real? You okay with it? Okay, good. I'm glad. Now you know this is okay or this is not okay.
Yeah.
As opposed to taking the sheepish route and just kind of butt puckering, walking all around, thinking that it's, I hope she don't mind this. Or, nah, man, just say it. Have the conversation, because ultimately we all going to suffer from it if we don't say something.
And I think it's a waste of time when you don't have those conversations. Because just think of how a relationship could be when you have the conversation about what's wrong or what you don't like. It can either be fixed and you guys come together to work it out, or not, and you go your separate ways. I don't want my time wasted. So I would just rather be honest with you and tell you what it is. And there's a way to tell people how it is and how you feel and how the truth and what your truth is, or what the truth is about a relationship, and not leave them feeling like the scum of the earth. And I think that's what people fear about telling the truth, how it's going to make somebody else feel or make me feel. But the truth is the truth.
But that's how you get ghosted. When you tell the truth, they will probably ghost you.
Yeah.
Because they can't handle it.
Yeah.
That maturity is not there. So I don't know what to say. Grown folks is talking. I got to go in the other room.
Grown folks is talking.
That's what it interprets to. I mean, what it boils down to is, can they handle the truth? And if they are, then they will meet you at that level. Otherwise, you can't walk together. Y'all not equally yoked. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. But the problem is, people don't feel like it's okay to be where they are. And no one wants to feel like they've been exposed to not really be where they thought they were. When they approached you, they thought they could handle that.
Yeah.
And then when they find out, oh, that's grown, I bet, that's a lot more power than I thought. Let me go get the tricycle again, because I ain't ready for this. It's too much power.
And in that instance, I don't mind the ghosting, because I don't want you wasting my time. If I'm not for you or we're not clicking, then that's okay. But I still go back to the conversation. You can just say, hey, I ain't on it. You're a little too much for me. I don't like the way this is going, so I'm out.
But if you want to have your last say, you want the last word.
No. They can have the last word. Like if you and I were dating and, hey, Nick, this is not working. I'm going to get gone. Peace. I don't need to say anything else to you. I respect the fact that you came to me and said that. Now, I'm going to be pissed off because I'm human.
You ain't going to want to know why?
I'm human. Yeah, I want to know why, but it's not. But you know what? When people say that kind of stuff to you, like, I'm gone, this is not working, I need to do something else, why do you need to know why? Go.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's me just wanting to be better all the time. It's like we are supposed to learn something new every day. Mm-hmm. And when somebody reveals something that is what they would consider not worthy of their time to me, that's related to me, I want to know what was I doing? I should be of value to any space that I come into. If I'm not, then I need to evaluate whether or not I need to be in that space. Because if I'm not of value to them, then am I really getting any value from being there?
Yeah, I get it. But I don't.
So now you want to bounce? It just ain't working. So I'm going to go ahead on and I'm going to do something else. Okay, why?
But sometimes your ego won't allow you to say why. Because if somebody comes to you and say, look, I'm not feeling this, I'm going to bounce. The first thing that comes to your mind is not going to be, well, let's sit and talk about what, if it's me or if I did something wrong. It's like, bye.
No, I ain't trying to have no Professor O moment. All I want to do is tell me what it is. Did I say something? Did I offend you? Did I say something about your mom and them? Was my critique too hard? I know you asked me how you looked in that outfit, and when I told you, did that bother you? Because you asked me. Now, if it bothered you, tell me that, because maybe I need to adjust how I said that.
What'd you say, Free?
Yes, it did. You're not supposed to tell me the truth about how I look. No, I'm just playing.
You just want to be lied to.
No, not for real. Tell me the truth. Kinda. I'm still gonna be salty though. I ain't gonna lie. You tell me I look like I got muffin going on, and I just might be a little, especially if I think I look good, I might be a little salty, but I'm gonna go change though.
I mean, it's all about a conversation. So let's talk about these hard conversations in relationships. What do you think? What do you guys think is the hardest conversation for? Okay, so let's go with marriage. Everybody's been married or married in the room. What do you think is the hardest conversation for a married couple to have?
Let's try it in this position.
You know what? Oh, I can't take you.
Man, you opened the door, closed the door.
But listen, sex.
Get everything and ready with it.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard what you said.
Okay.
I heard you clearly.
Okay.
But sex in a relationship, sex in a marriage.
Did you get it out?
I couldn't get it out. Sex.
She couldn't get it out. That's what she said.
I couldn't get it out. You know what? Hey, I'm going to need you to take it down a notch. You don't think I hear you, but I hear you perfectly.
Oh, my God.
So listen, sex in a marriage is like the hardest thing for couples to talk about. And I don't know why.
Because she don't want him to know how much of a freak she really is.
If I'm married to a man, if I decided to say yes to a man, I don't care how much of a freak he thinks I am. That's my man. I cannot take it. I mean, do you all agree? Free.
Yes.
You got to help me out, sister girl.
I'm trying. I can't stop laughing. They giving me this. I don't know.
There is nothing wrong with having that conversation. However,
it's how you have it.
I agree.
You can't just be like doing it in the middle of the moment and be like, you know what, this trash. I'm gonna need you to start over. Like it don't work like that. I think she gonna come back and actually start over. It don't. You gotta put a little finesse on that if you really want your lady to listen and take heed.
Is the finesse during?
No, you don't say anything like for real during. If it's just that bad, you kind of endure it. Like
no. I disagree.
They stop this right here.
I disagree. And this we're not gonna tag this show explicit, but it is adult conversation. But I disagree with that. I think there's a way to do it in the midst of it where you say, "Hey, babe," or "Hey," or "Let's try." Ouch. Oh, did you say "ouch"? Oh, I can't take you. All right.
You know when you said about ghosting, that might be the perfect opportunity.
You know what?
Nah, you can't ghost in that spot. Right?
No, you can't ghost in that spot.
Never show back up again.
So we agree that sex is the number one hard conversation to have in relationships.
I think it would
finances
be
too.
Top one. Yeah, finances is a good one. I think also other family members, especially like if you got a very intrusive family member. That could be a parent or it could be a child. Mm-hmm. Like in the relationships nowadays, there are a lot of blended relationships. Mm-hmm. And if you're dating someone who has a child that's under teens, mm-hmm. you could have a lot of quote unquote needs. And if they're, I don't want to say competitive, but if they're possessive of mm-hmm. their parent, and you're trying to spend time there. Now, how do you have that conversation with them about your time? Mm-hmm. Because now you're competing and you don't want to compete. That's the last thing you want to do. At the same time, you want to have that time to get to know the person. So how do you have that conversation about, hey, your kid needs to get off the tent?